Today on Suncoast View, assessing Andrew 25 years later. We'll talk about what Florida learned from its Category 5 hurricane.
It's our southeastern guide dog puppy's Wrigley's last day. He's headed off to college. We'll take a look back at all he's done and tell you what's in for his future.
And the Suncoast's most popular reggae band, Jaw Movement, is here with us to get us ready for this weekend's Friday Fest at the Van Wezel. All that and more right now on Suncoast View.
Welcome to the show, and welcome back to Jeffrey Kinn. Great to have you with us.
Always happy to be here, and it's a special occasion today, too, which I love.
It is a special occasion. We are celebrating our southeastern guide dog puppy, Wrigley. He's hanging out in the studio with us. It is his goodbye party, or rather his send-off, and it's a celebratory occasion. I'm going to keep telling myself that because we are very proud of all Wrigley has learned with his year with us, and he's now ready for bigger and better things.
Right.
He is going off to college at Southeastern Guide Dogs, and we will talk with them about exactly what that means and what his future career paths could be. But right now he is in his heaven because he wants to come in the studio with us and be right here. This is the only spot he really truly wants to be at every day during the show. We set up a couple of different things like, well, maybe he could sit on the side and we'll pull his bed over there. No, he complains if he doesn't get to be right here. And right now he's greeting the people who are walking in. So
he's gonna miss that. He's gonna miss that spot.
That was, though? He went from like rest to wait.
Someone's coming. Yes.
He's going to be a hero, though.
He doesn't miss a
He is
trip.
going to do great things.
Well,
so
that is what we hope for him.
We have been honored to be here with him.
Absolutely. And right now he's going to sit down.
He's wandering. Hi. What's up, kid?
He says, I hear
He's
you
saying
talking
goodbye to
about
each
We
me.
are talking about you, wagging
And
your
we
tail.
purposely kept his working coat off today so we can do a little loving on him as well. So, okay, now this is our senior producer thinking he's funny. He does come in the makeup room with me, and he's not supposed to crawl on my lap, but he loves the makeup process, and we sometimes powder his nose a little bit as well. But you know what we've learned he doesn't like? He does not like hairspray. I am sure it bothers his sinuses, and when we're in that closed room, and Bobeth doesn't like it either.
I don't like it.
Bobeth refuses to come in there when Linda and I are busy spraying our hair to death.
I wait about 5 minutes after they leave before I go in there.
Well, and he puts the brakes on sometimes when we go to walk in the makeup room, and I think it is because he knows that funny smell is going to tickle his nose.
That's probably very smart.
Yes.
Well, very sensitive.
Hey, if the dog doesn't want to do it,
Why do you breathe it? I know. We won't make fun of either of you. So we're excited to have Wrigley with us today. We are also excited to be getting sweet treats in the kitchen.
Oh, yes.
We welcome pastry chef Mara Cristiani from Laurel Oak Country Club and her daughter-in-law Gina from Center Ring Cakes. Tell us what we're making today.
Thank you. Well, we're so happy to be here for Wrigley. We've made a special cake for Wrigley, and I'm going to show you how you can do that for your dog at home and how to make a cake for the humans in the house in 40 seconds in your food processor.
Wow.
So we're excited to show you that.
All right. That is a version of carrot cake that we will be making today, and that sounds
I can make a 40-second cake.
absolutely wonderfully. It's my favorite cake.
Your order.
Linda calls Center Ring Cakes in under 40 seconds and gets it done. So, well, I like to cook things, including for the pups, so we'll be excited to see that recipe. Of course, it's also Throwback Thursday, and Jeffrey has some of the better throwback pictures you can ever find.
What?
I'm just saying, you know, sometimes it's nice to take a look back. I believe we're looking back to the 80s on this one.
That's you with the curly hair?
Tell us what we're seeing.
Okay, so I did summer stock in Maine, and those are my friends that I met, Lori Glazer, Tony Bellato, and Pam Wiley, and we did our reverse prom picture, thought we were going to be cute and funny. So yeah, that's me, the second to the left, sporting a lot of hair and
A lot of curls.
a lot of curls and no stomach at all. See, I wish I had that stomach.
See, looking back's good.
You want that hair back too?
I'll take the hair back too. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for bringing that up. Yeah.
It's always fun to look back.
I love
Nothing
it.
wrong with
You
Thank
it.
turned
you.
out very well.
Well, thank you very much.
very
Thank
proud
you,
of you.
Linda.
And you wouldn't be where you are today without all those great strides that you made to get here.
That's true. Thank
the
you
way
very
we look
much.
at it.
Yes.
And
Thank you for making fun of me.
You're like fine wine.
I am like a fine wine. Let's drink some right now.
Well, speaking of looking back, sometimes it's a little easier than others. It is time for our first hot topic. And 25 years ago today, Hurricane Andrew changed the face of South Florida as it roared ashore in the middle of the night. It is still only one of 3 Category 5 storms to hit the United States. As a result of Andrew, there have been sweeping changes in Florida's former subpar building code, Florida's insurance industry, and the role of the Federal Emergency Management Agency. 25 years later, do you think we'd be better off if we were hit by a Cat 5 storm?
I think so. I remember this very vividly.
I was hoping
we
you
were,
would.
because I'm from the South Florida area, and most of the part that got hit was Homestead, really west. And at that time, my mom had just moved to a home like in Weston area, really far west at that time. Now it's all built up. But anyway, there weren't many homes. And when it came through, it hit the West Coast, and we were coming back because we were at camp. And I remember coming back and driving and seeing just like houses that were there gone. Wow. And trees were down, buildings were gone. There were whole homes that, buildings were there that were no longer. It was crazy.
I think houses are built much differently today because of that, but there are a lot more houses too, so we'll have to see how that impacts it. I remember seeing a house during Charlie, perfectly built house, and the water just washed in from the bay and up into the house. It had to be torn down.
I mean, you could only do so much, but at least I feel like because of the devastation from Andrew, we realized we got to up our game.
There's some building codes now that, weren't in place back then.
But buildings are one thing, people are another, and there's lots of people that move to Florida and aren't even aware that maybe that happened. So and people are like, oh, I can hunker down, I can ride this out.
People don't realize
that's what that's what would make me nervous is mankind, not buildings.
The hard part then, though, is even if you weren't in the areas that were affected, we didn't have electricity for weeks.
Really?
So yeah, it was like you went back and everyone was buying generators, and you were, had your little ice box, and you were just going to buy ice just to make your little food that you had last. It was like, it was pretty bad.
And it's a reminder, the hurricane kit is not a suggestion. It's necessary. It is mandatory because no power for weeks means food shortages for weeks and gas shortages. And the thing, especially from a science point of view, think about where we are. We're at the end of August. Andrew was A in the alphabet. This was the first storm of the year, and it did not occur until August. So even when you're having a quiet season, it only takes one.
And when Charlie hit, we were going down from here into Punta Gorda where it really hit hard, taking water and just driving, people from the station just driving around and giving people water. They didn't have water, and there was no place to get it.
Things like that you don't realize that are
It helps you realize what's really important.
And to take it seriously. So we are all familiar with our traffic troubles on our major roads like 41, even Osprey and Tuttle. But do you use residential streets as a cut-through to avoid the major arteries? It is a problem in neighborhoods like Southside Village. And many areas now are asking the city for traffic calming methods, such as speed bumps, places where residents complain about people rolling through stop signs, speeding, and just general car volume. Traffic issues in a particular neighborhood have to be studied, and cars actually have to be counted before changes can be made. All right, fess up, and no harm, no foul. Who uses residential cut-throughs?
Well, the reason I happen to know that there's speed bumps is because I go over them like that.
Right.
But, I've been here long enough to see them put down speed bumps to calm the traffic. Then it's such a bad thing for the people in the neighborhood because they've got to go over them every day.
Take them out?
They take them out. And now they're putting them back in. So I've seen them go in, out, and back in again. So maybe we've just got to have more police there to give you tickets.
Because I do not go through.
No,
I do not go through them. Somebody's going to give me a ticket for speeding.
Yeah.
Well, speed limits are not a suggestion. Number one,
Thanks
the
for
law.
letting me know that, because I did not know.
Beth has trouble with that concept.
I did not understand that.
Yeah, that's not. Hey, could you please try to go 25? My whole issue is why are speed bumps 25 miles an hour when the speed limit's 35? Like, why aren't traffic calming should make sense. Traffic calming is one thing, but traffic stoppage is another. Like four-way stops don't make sense to me. So I think there's got to be a science behind why people do what they do, and then making it make sense for them as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you live on one of those cut-through streets, though, and you have kids, and there's all those cars going by, like, you got to slow down somehow, anyway, because if a kid darts out, I want you going 25, not 35 or 45.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I don't think that, cutting through is even as effective as we want it to believe it is.
I agree with that.
And I think the solution isn't necessarily to study those cut-through streets, but fix the problem on the main thoroughways so people aren't wanting to cut through.
Right. Why are we avoiding 41? Because it doesn't move.
Because the traffic lights are so long or it's just so packed. You know, those are the things I think we should spend the money to alleviate, because if we alleviate that, less people will be going through the cut streets.
But they're talking about putting roundabouts to slow down traffic on 41.
But at least it would keep moving. I think the reason we...
Oh, this isn't a talk. This has been approved.
The reason we pick cut-throughs, in my opinion, is all psychology. You feel better when you're moving somewhere rather than stop,
Even if
go,
it's
stop,
slower.
go.
Yeah,
And I
true.
think Bob Best's right. I'm not sure it saves you any time in the long run, and I'm sure those residents would rather you not cut through. So it'll be something we have to think about. So are you planning on watching the big fight Saturday night, McGregor versus Mayweather? Experts predict that Conor McGregor's improbable challenge of Floyd Mayweather Jr. could be seen by a staggering 50 million people in the U.S. as fans and the curious often just gather in small parties. So the fight on Saturday night threatens the pay-per-view revenue record that was set by Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao 2 years ago. People are using this event, we're hearing, as a reason to just have friends and family over for some escapism and controlled violence, they call it. If the predicted 5 million pay-per-view views are sold, it would be seen by 1 in 6 Americans.
Wow.
Okay, there's 4 of us sitting right here. Will anyone see it?
No.
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 But when my
Well,
husband was
okay.
alive, I would have. He was a football coach, but he loved boxing. And he said boxing and football helps us get our anger and our aggressions out so we don't do it to each other in society. So
It's not working.
Guys,
I need more
wasn't-
boxing matches.
I was invited to a boxing party. I just don't feel like driving to Fort Lauderdale.
So you do know somebody that has
yeah, I
it.
know a couple people that are doing them.
And my boys have talked about it. They
Yeah.
know people whose dads
Yeah,
have ordered it, and
they've
they're having
ordered it.
kids over. So.
Well, not kids. They're just going to have a bunch of people over. It's going to almost be like a party. It's like a watch party.
Well, I read that it is so expensive for the bars to have it. It's like several $1,000s, but it's not all that expensive personally. I think it's $99.95 if you order it. So that if you have 20 people over and ask everybody to chip in, it's not a big expense.
Wow.
And that less people are actually going to the fight, and I have no idea what those tickets cost, but they're ridiculous.
Oh.
So the people are planning on staying
So,
and
but
watching.
this is not something you even want to go to the fight. You just need to be in Vegas now. Like
Yes.
if you're, this is like, in my heyday, but this is when you would go.
Let's back up about your heyday.
So you're not in your
This is-
heyday now?
So I'm
So
not.
about your
So
heyday.
this is when you would actually just go to Vegas, and you don't even have to go to the fight. The amount of people that are in town, all the parties, everything that's associated with the fight, that is going to be good.
My husband and I would go to Vegas, but
Yeah.
he was very serious about this fight. And we'd have good tickets, and I'd get splashed with blood.
That's
I mean, this is the real thing.
That's
That's why I'm not so fond of boxing, but he loved it.
See,
He
when we
thought
go-
I was so lucky.
When we go to Vegas, we go see Barbara Streisand. So I guess there's no blood there at all.
Did I have a heyday? I need to think about this. Did you have a heyday? Did I have a heyday? I don't think I
You
I
missed
think
out.
this is my heyday.
Okay, I
Every
like that
day
answer.
is heyday.
Every day's my heyday.
Yeah, baby.
Absolutely.
Well, Beth, it'll get better when you get older.
Every day's a good day.
Well, speaking of things that make a good day, wine in the fridge is always a good day, and it's not something you want to go to waste. So don't be so quick to belittle boxed wine. Boxed wine is being touted as a great value because either red or white stays good for 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, there's a discussion here about whose wine sits in there that long. But anyway, a traditional bottle goes bad after just 1 week. Oh, I thought it was only 1 day. But the state-of-the-art bag-in-box technology actually keeps the enemies of light and air out. Plus, the spout is resealable. And now vintners are telling us the overall quality has improved as winemakers are realizing the benefits and that people want to have it.
I think Jeffrey knows
You have
this.
boxed wine?
So terrible. My mom has always drank boxed wine, and I always made fun of her. And then I found a black box, a Shiraz.
I heard that.
And I got one, and it is so good. And I'm just one person in my house, so a bottle, it sits there. And it stayed fresh, and it's cool, and it's
Wow.
delicious. And so, yes, I drink boxed wine, and I'm proud of it, I think.
Those are preservatives, though, that are making it last.
No, it's
No,
the sealed
it's the
bag.
box.
It's the
It's-
same wine you get in the bottle. It's just the
It's-
packaging.
But then when you open it, doesn't the air get in?
The
No,
bladder
it's a
is in
bottle.
there. There's a plastic
It's a little,
bladder.
it's a little little plastic thing, and you pour it full, and you drink it.
Well, and you can get the
Delicious.
kind that you can buy them in the airport and take them on the airplane, the smaller boxes. Target sells them and all that. So, all right, so don't be little box
my
wine.
Yeah,
Gosh,
I
I
guess
can't
White's
believe it.
Infidel doesn't come in a box, or I would have known that.
It does.
It does?
Yes.
In fact, I think it was made in a box. Just kidding.
I'll be right back.
This is a college kid's dream. They've been waiting for this.
Seriously. All right, we're going to check out a happy hour forecast and then talk about what's next for our guide dog puppy Wrigley, who was looking for action here with Southeastern Guide Dogs. Be right back.
Thanks, Stephanie. We've got a lot to talk about. First of all, we're going to talk about Hurricane Harvey swirling off the Texas coast. It will soon be Hurricane Harvey, still a tropical storm, probably by 5. That's something we'll look at more on our newscast later on this afternoon. For us, we have a tropical feature of our own. You kind of see a little swirl in the atmosphere, not only in satellite but in radar. With a lot of rain moving around it, we could get several inches of rain in some parts of our viewing area between now and Saturday. There's one particularly strong storm coming in the western part of Sarasota County with a lot of lightning heading toward Osprey and more further inland for later on. Here's our forecast through the evening hours from our high-resolution futurecast showing the storms will be around until about 8, 9, 10 o'clock, drying out overnight, but tomorrow more rounds of showers and thunderstorms and temperatures slowly cooling off into the upper 70s overnight, reaching a low temperature around 78. And our chance of rain looks like it peaks off during the evening hours. I'll have more on potentially Hurricane Harvey and its deadly impact on Texas coming up in just a few minutes.
So we knew this day was coming, and it is definitely bittersweet. It is time to return Wrigley to Southeastern Guide Dogs so he can continue his formal training. So here to help us understand what happens next and to remind us that this is a celebration of all Wrigley has accomplished is Leslie Shepard, Director of Puppy Raising Services. And Leslie, I know you understand because you are a puppy raiser yourself.
Yes, I am.
And it is definitely hard because I am so proud of what all of us have done, yet we're going to miss this guy.
Of course you will. And if you didn't, we'd be a little bit worried about you as a puppy raiser. But yes, it is a very emotional day, and we expect that, but that's why we craft our In for Training Day, our freshman orientation the way we do to help it be a little bit easier on the puppy raisers.
So tell us about Saturday, because my family and I will take Wrigley to Southeastern Guide Dogs and join other puppy raisers in a special day that you call IFT. So explain IFT.
Yes, actually it's In for Training. It stands for In for Training, and we call our ceremony freshman orientation. We have it patterned very much like a college freshman orientation because this is like taking your child off to college. You've got such exciting hopes for them. But you're going to miss them, and you don't know what's kind of, you know, you're wanting them to take a particular path, but once they get there, they may find that that's not exactly the path that they've decided, that you have decided on for them.
So the dog decides, must like our children
Yes.
decide. I see lots of hugs. I've been told a few tears are just fine.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you will be amazed that we will have 25 to 30 dogs plus raisers and family all together in a room, and those dogs are super. They've really, we can see all the hard work that has gone into them because they just lie quietly waiting for their turn to be called up to meet their trainer.
And you realize that, wow, there are these dogs that have truly been trained and respond. Because it is amazing when you go to a puppy meeting, and I'm sure we'll witness this Saturday too.
Yes.
Imagine putting 25 young dogs in a room, and after the first 30 seconds when they're excited, they just lay down.
Wow.
Like,
They do.
we know, this is what we do.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that. So once IFT begins, their training begins, where do the dogs stay and what are they working on?
They stay in our freshman dorm, so it is an assessment center, and the first thing that happens to them is that they are getting medical assessments and temperament assessments. And really from that temperament assessment, we'll kind of have an idea of what might be the best career for them. And at that point, they will either go into our guide program or our service dog program, because we feel at that point we have a good idea of how they're going to do. Now it does take 4 to 6 months for both of those programs, and anywhere along the line we're asking more and more of the dog, and the dog may tell us along those months, well, maybe that's not exactly the career that I'm intending. So at that point, then we do further evaluations and make decisions on what they might do next.
Is there a personality trait that ends up standing out between a dog that gets routed to guide or to serve?
Well, yes and no. We really feel that our service dogs should have all of the same characteristics that we want in a guide dog, that they are really distraction free, they've got great house manners, they are really obedient. But I guess the differential for me would be those guide dogs have to be rock solid. Nothing can distract them. They really need to be resilient as well. Whereas a service dog, because they're guiding someone who has no vision or very low vision.
High responsibility.
High responsibility. Whereas a service dog is with someone who does have vision and can mitigate some issues that can't be handled by someone who has low vision.
Well, we've tried to work on Wrigley's resilience. We get him up at 4:30 in the morning, and we make him commute 120 miles a day. So he has long days.
He's going to really miss that.
Yeah, I'm sure. We joke all the time that he may have an easier life than he's had as a puppy, because we've definitely worked him hard.
Speaking of easier life, earlier Jeffrey mentioned the question, like, how does the dog process the whole transition?
Yeah, do they feel a loss?
No, they don't. I'm sorry, Stephanie. They
He's
don't.
not going to miss me.
No. But he won't forget you. It's just like our kids when they go off to college. Mine couldn't
Wait, they're not going to miss me either?
No.
Leslie, you're ruining my life.
They never look back, except when they need money. So it's kind of this
Or a treat.
or a
So he
treat.
may think of you when he wants a treat.
No, he will bond first with the canine care technicians who take extraordinary care of our dogs when they're in our kennels. And then he'll bond with his trainer. And he'll never forget you, as I said, but he's really moving on. His basic needs are being taken care of. And you said earlier that he's kind of knows something is up. He kind of has, you've taken him as far as you can.
Yeah, he's a little antsy.
He's ready for something
I mean, you
else.
can see it now. He doesn't want to just lay here and listen to me talk anymore. There's people in the studio, and he kind of wants to go check them out. He also loves other dogs, which I'm really appreciative of, because we have another dog at home, and it's his best friend. So it's kind of like your kids going to college. If you find out that you're in a whole world where everybody's a dog, I mean, how fun could that be, right? So I think he's going to think he's hit pay dirt when he arrives back. You mentioned his career option. There are a couple others that I do want people to aware of are possibilities. So let's talk about really the 4 things that happen to each and every dog that is raised at Southeastern.
Well, we know that Wrigley is a breeder evaluate. So first of all, he'll have a little extra assessments being done. He'll have some cardiac exam as well as an eye exam. I'll just say eye exam.
Say eye exam. And when you mean breeder evaluate, that means he is still being considered for what?
For becoming part of our breeding colony, because we do produce our own puppies. So he has a really great temperament, or we'll find out for sure when he comes in. But so far, he's shown us that he's got a really great temperament. Health is incredibly important, so we'll look at that. And then guide work, service dog work, potentially an ambassador for us. We have canine companions for children that need companion dogs.
Right, and the whole reason that we got involved with the program, both as a station and as a family, is because every single Southeastern guide dog has a purpose.
Yes,
so we knew
absolutely.
that no matter what, he will go on to do something wonderful.
Absolutely.
So big thank you to Leslie and
You're welcome.
Southeastern Guide Dogs. Puppy raising has been an amazing experience. I highly recommend being part of this great organization. You can find out more information about all the volunteer opportunities at guidedogs.org. We're going to continue to celebrate Wrigley, but first, Jaw Movement has a preview of this week's Friday Fest. We're proud of you, buddy.
Look at that.
Florida's coral reefs are declining. Bad news for our oceans and marine life. Fortunately, you can help, and you don't have to dive, you just have to drive. When you purchase Moat's Protect Our Reefs license plate, $25 goes directly to Moat Marine Laboratory, whose research, restoration, and conservation programs are helping this precious natural resource thrive once again. So get your Moat Protect Our Reefs license plate today. You just might hold the key to saving Florida's reefs.
We asked our customers, why is Consumer Cellular your choice in wireless?
Consumer Cellular helps me save money. It's simple and easy.
It is reliable.
I like the fact that there are no contracts.
By moving to Consumer Cellular, my cost is 50% less than it was.
They fit the plan to you.
I have everything I want with Consumer Cellular.
Their customer service is fabulous.
Customers are the #1 priority.
I really feel like they take care of me.
We're proud to have received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row.
We really appreciate the AARP discount.
AARP members get exclusive discounts.
It's easy to switch. You could use your own phone and you could use your own number.
Wild horses wouldn't drag me away from Consumer Cellular.
Go with Consumer Cellular.
You're going to save a lot of money.
Switch today. It's all backed by a 30-day risk-free guarantee. Call 1-800-368-8758. Go online or visit a Target store today.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
There are only 3 more free Friday Fest concerts this season at the Van Wezel. And this Friday, one of Florida's most popular live reggae bands, Jaw Movement, will perform. And they're here to give us a preview today in Sounds of the Suncoast. Take it away, guys.
It's natural, loving you is physical, spiritual too. It's a healing in my soul. I was half, but now I'm whole. A deeper truth I found in you. Love is automatic when you're loving me like this, and I'm so glad we've got it. Automatic chemistry, love is automatic when you're hugging me like this, and I'm so glad we've got it. Automatic, listen. See, Jaja, 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 he never let us down, no job won't let us down. Damie, help me sing it. See, Jaja, 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 he'll never let us down, no job won't let us down. Hey.
We have to get up each and every day and praise Jaja, who give me the strength, the energy, and the power. Let me get up and sing to me fans, them and ting. Every day I pay a little blessings we chant. Get up each and every day and praise Jaja, who give me the strength, the energy, and the power. Let me get up and sing to me fans, them and ting. Every day I pay a little blessings we sing, say.
Yeah. Are awesome. And you're going to be at Friday Fest this weekend. Yes, on Friday night. We can't wait to see you. And you're also a family.
Yes.
Tell me about that. Introduce these guys, Chantel.
Well, this is little Kimani Keynes. He's just turned 5 and just started kindergarten. He is going to be an up-and-coming drummer, and he's starting to sing. And this is my fiance, Mr. Damie Keynes, right here, the other lead vocalist of Jaw Movement.
And you guys have 3 kids, and you sing, and you have other jobs, and you're the most popular band in Florida, I think. This is awesome. What's it like at your house?
A lot of noise, a lot of music, a lot of drums, a lot of yelling and singing and learning, you know, new songs. So it's just always music going on all day, all night.
And this little guy, Damien, he really likes to play, right? Do you really like to play the drums?
Yeah.
Why do you like to play the drums?
Because I like to play with drumsticks.
It's always good to play with drumsticks, I think, right? Mom and Dad think you're pretty good, too. We all do. You can see him Friday night. So Friday night at Friday Fest on the Bay, it is free. You're going to see all these guys perform. It's 5 to 9. And Kimani, would you play us out? Would you play for us? Oh, good. Let's hear Kimani play.
Because it will bring
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna Be Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
So, how many of us feel completely confident about our financial future? Let's hear some specifics. Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to be a burden to my kids. When my husband died, it took almost all of our savings to give him a proper funeral. I honestly don't know if there's enough to bury me, let alone cover expenses should something happen.
Okay. Let's talk solutions. One thing you may want to get in place is a guaranteed whole life insurance policy from United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, which is a Mutual of Omaha company. This is affordable coverage, which provides a cash payment which can cover funeral expenses, bills, and other financial needs. Most payments are on their way within 24 hours. Yes, sir.
Do I need medical exams, things like that?
No medical exams. If you're between the ages of 45 and 85, you can call this number or you can go online and apply for coverage up to $25,000. United of Omaha Guaranteed Whole Life Insurance. Call or go online now.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
Attention Sarasota and surrounding cities. After 25 years in Sarasota, Bacon's Furniture and Design will be moving to create Southwest Florida's largest and most dynamic furniture store. We must liquidate everything in the store at huge savings as fast as possible. Do not miss this opportunity to purchase quality sofas, bedrooms, dining rooms, patio furniture, mattresses, and more. All at the absolute lowest prices possible. The Bacon's Furniture and Design Relocation Sell-Off. Nobody beats Bacon's.
Welcome back to Suncoast View. We're going to check back in the kitchen with Mara and Gino Cristiani from Center Ring Cakes. And before they make us a tricky recipe, I see that we have some tricks going on here. Tell us, first of all, about how Center Ring came about and why Gina is so incredibly good at juggling.
Well, we're both circus performers. I'm a retired trapeze artist, and Gina, as you can see, is still a phenomenal juggler.
Yeah.
She's actually ESPN's gold medal winner, and she just recently was awarded the Excellence Award, which is a Lifetime Achievement Award by the International Juggler Association. So it's like the Oscars, but even more so, it's like the achievement in the Oscars.
How fun. And I guess that makes putting ingredients in the cake even more fun when you can juggle them first. All right, we can't wait to celebrate carrot cake with you in just a few minutes.
We're looking forward to it.
Boba?
All right, well, you've probably painted walls and maybe even pictures, but sometimes art can also be displayed on the floor. And Sandra Wicks from Ace Sarasota is here to teach us some painting techniques using floor cloth. All right, so Sandra, welcome back. I'm excited about this opportunity to try to paint like you. Yeah. But the last time you were here, you joined us to paint a portrait of Wrigley, and I want to go back and look at it because it's just an amazing picture. And you know, painting a black dog is always difficult.
Yes.
How did you do this?
Well, you use a lot of the purples and the blues to kind of get that shadow look, and then bring them out that way.
Well, well, it definitely is beautiful.
Well, thank you.
And another thing that you could do is with this floor cloth, right?
Yes, yes. This is what we're doing at ACE right now. If in one of my classes, and also starting in the fall, I'll have another class in November time frame. but it is an old, the history behind floor cloths goes way back to the 18th century in England, and it was brought back to America, and when, you know, business was going much better, we had a lot of artists that would start doing this for people and their homes, and it became just a very special piece in people's homes.
And it's a little bit more durable than regular canvas?
It is. They love that because you can wash it, and it's not, you know.
Oh, wow.
So, because it's a paint, it's acrylic, and these are some of the examples that I have for my students to look at. You know, you have the...
And this is what we're going to aspire to.
Wow.
Yeah, like we're going to do that.
All right, well,
I'm a little worried here.
Well, some of us have already started, and in fact, because of Wrigley's celebration, we're going to paint something in honor of him. And this is the picture that was just up is what you've painted already?
Yes, yes. This is one of the samples I've shown of Wrigley. And I can go through the step-by-step with you today. So basically, we start with a primed canvas. So what it is just primed on both sides, because you don't want to have it unprimed on the floor, because then it will seep in any liquids or dirt or things like that. And then on the side that we're actually going to paint on, it's primed 2 times, so which makes it even stronger to work on.
Show the seaming, or what did you call that?
Yes, this is a hemming process that we do for the floor cloths, because when you use smaller versions like placemats, you don't need to hem them because they won't curl up. They're small enough and the paint will weigh it down. But for the floor cloths, we go through a process of hemming everything, and I use double-faced tape, which is carpet tape, which you can buy anywhere in, you know, big stores, and then we put that on there, and it's about 2 inches wide as the tape, so there's no cutting involved with that. Once that's completed, we turn it over.
Paint it?
And then we paint it.
And this could be a floor mat in front of someone's door.
Exactly, anywhere. You can use this even for your dogs. And
yeah.
to put their bowls on.
Oh,
you
that
know
would be
how
adorable.
they always fill things, and so it's very handy to have a floor cloth
and it's
under
really
that.
durable.
It is.
Oh, yes.
Because
if you get something on them, what do you do? Just wipe it off, like anything? Really?
Yeah, just wipe it off with a sponge, and it's gone. Because at the end of the process, we also seal it with. You can use all different kinds of polyurethanes that you buy in the store, and also put that on there.
Speaking of the process, you gave us some paint, and we all started. And I just want to show Linda's. We always talk about me being an artist, but look at Linda's. Linda toned it up. She did this.
Oh my gosh, that's really good, Linda. Why, thank you. I was trying to make that, but I'm a little small for that.
We can put some dog treats around him, and you can.
I was going to give him a girlfriend.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Jeffrey's doing that. This is very interesting. It's like, where did Wrigley go? We'll follow
exactly.
his
We're
footsteps.
following his little footsteps.
Wrigley wants to say.
Oh, he's right behind me right now. Woo! Yeah, there's.
Wrigley wants to be a part.
I was going to do some footprints and.
Very good.
Are there any specific techniques you have to use for this kind of cloth?
What I start off with the students is usually tape off so you can get a nice border, and you just use your tape from painter's tape.
Yep.
So you put that around the edge, and you say, okay, I want to have about that 2-inch border. And then you go all the way around, and then I cover it with a base color. As you can see, it's the red color.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty. Then you start putting all your parts on there. As far as I started with the dog, and then dogs like ice cream and
all the different
cookies,
treats.
Bones, and a brush,
and then I've also taught that you can use different tools to get different effects with like sponges. You can get little plastic tools, that you can drag the paint and get a nice effect that way.
So many good ideas.
Yes, a lot of different techniques you can do to definitely do your one-of-a-kind art. And you guys can create your own floor cloth at ACE. They have several other classes going on there. And you can find out more about their fall class schedule by just going to their website, ace-sarasota.com. And when we come back, we're actually going to take another look at our guide dog Wrigley's time here.
Stop. This is fun.
Yeah.
This is like art therapy.
There you go.
All right, we'll be back.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Here's what we're working on right now for 5 o'clock. A shakeup in Florida government. Sarasota businesswoman Alex Miller explains why she's resigning from her post in the state legislature. Plus, a potential snag for a new affordable housing complex in Venice, why the Venetian Walk proposal may not be moving forward anytime soon. Let's get a check now on the First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist Steve Newman. Steve?
Hey, Scott, we've been hearing a lot of thunder and lightning, part of a tropical feature over Florida that could eventually become a tropical storm or more once it moves off into the Atlantic. But right now it's creating showers and thunderstorms. You can almost kind of see the circulation around this trough of low pressure over us. Some strong storms bringing locally heavy rain and lightning moving right over the heart of our viewing area right now. And that's a pretty solid line, so stay indoors for the next few minutes if you can possibly do that. I'll also tell you about potentially deadly Hurricane Harvey coming up in short.
Severe weather strikes. Trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Here we go. We're going to go out there in the rain. You're going to get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh, yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
This is important news for women who were administered chemotherapy intravenously for breast cancer and then suffered permanent hair loss. The chemotherapy drug Taxotere has been linked to permanent alopecia or permanent hair loss. Some women administered the breast cancer chemotherapy drug Taxotere have suffered from permanent hair loss on scalp, eyebrows, and eyelashes. The FDA has urged doctors and the manufacturer to warn women administered Taxotere of the risk of permanent hair loss. If you or a loved one were administered chemotherapy intravenously for breast cancer and suffered permanent hair loss, you may have a right to a cash award and medical expenses. If you suffered permanent hair loss after chemotherapy for breast cancer, call the law offices of Davis & Crump at the number below right now to find out if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call the law offices of Davis & Crump right now. Our first consultation is free, and we don't get paid unless you get paid. Call now. Operators are standing by.
Welcome back. Our Southeastern guide dog puppy Wrigley spent nearly every weekday of the last 11 months with all of us in our newsroom and on our location shoots and in our studio. And as a result, he has gotten to experience some pretty unusual things. It's really fun to take a look back at his year. This is day one. Wrigley was actually introduced to us on our show, but then I immediately gave him back so we could have the formal welcome at Southeastern Guide Dogs in Palmetto with my daughter Reagan. This was all her idea for a senior project as a way to give back. This is him sleeping in our newsroom. He has no shame. In fact, he was laying like this just yesterday, so he's obviously very comfortable with all of you.
And there's no need for a bed.
Right. He often sleeps next to his bed. He's been to countless football, baseball, basketball games. The kids love him. He does not mind sweaty, smelly boys, which is good for him. This is Circus Sarasota. That is Dolly on the rings on the high wire behind him. He was happy to check that out. Again, he just goes where we go, and he was happy to do it. This was a shoot in our studio with all of you, as you may remember, for our studio Christmas card. He is visiting a farm in that picture, just hanging out, doing what he does, getting a little bigger.
Look at that
That
face,
is our
though.
family
Wow.
Christmas shoot, and that is my daughter Reagan holding him, which is, to this day, even at 60 pounds, he gets held. We did make him a dinosaur for Halloween. I'm not sure he was so fond of that, but he did tolerate it well. That is a Cliff Rolls picture of him right in the newsroom. You find that linoleum in a lot of Wrigley's pictures. That's actually the Tampa Theater with his puppy group. We take a lot of outings so he can learn to experience different things. That's a unicorn. Because you know what?
Well,
Wrigley has seen it all.
Yeah.
A unicorn came on our show and stopped by to visit Wrigley at his desk. And he literally just kind of looked at it like, what is
It's a big dog.
Right. Do I play with it? And no, the unicorn didn't really want to play.
It was actually a miniature horse.
I hope he tells his friends in the kennel about this.
I love this picture.
Look.
This is a true Wrigley picture, just staring up at us. He just sort of has a soulful, patient look about him. Like, I don't know what they're going to do with me next, but it's okay. I'm game. So he is just very happy to go with the flow.
So patient. He seems very patient.
He
look
is
at him.
patient, and I think that'll be a really good
This is him
trait
right
for him.
now. He's so calm.
Actually, he's thinking that he's tired of hearing me talking, so I'll just close my eyes. I listen to her. I listen to her all day long. So, well, a big thank you to, of course, all of my co-workers for supporting us on this journey, and all of you for following us online and asking about it. We will continue to post updates when we get them from Southeastern Guide Dogs about his formal training. You can continue to follow us online at Wrigley's View. Wrigley has had a lot of fun saying what he thinks about everything, so I hope he continues to tell us. So he's a good boy.
Thank you, Steph, for
we are
all
proud.
that work. That was a lot of work.
Thank
You
you.
did, constantly.
Well worth it. Well worth it. And the journey is not over. So, all right, coming up next, we are going to talk about what's next for us here on Suncoast View, and then we're headed to the kitchen to celebrate with cake.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Jacuzzi is proud to present our first ever safe bathing event. The Jacuzzi walk-in tub allows you or a loved one to take a safe and relaxing bath. Never climb in and out of a regular bathtub again. Our walk-in tub offers a low step-in threshold, fast drain technology, soothing hydrotherapy, and even a shower handle. Regain bathing independence with a Jacuzzi walk-in tub and enjoy spending more time with loved ones. Why wait any longer? During our safe bathing event, save $750 on a new walk-in tub. Receive $250 in safety upgrades and a $100 Visa gift card. But if you call right now during this program, we'll double the savings to $1,500, double the safety upgrades to $500, and double it to a $200 Visa gift card with your walk-in tub purchase. Call right now to save double on a new walk-in tub. Call now.
Attention Sarasota and surrounding cities. After 25 years in Sarasota, Bacon's Furniture and Design will be moving to create Southwest Florida's largest and most dynamic furniture store. We must liquidate everything in the store at huge savings as fast as possible. Do not miss this opportunity to purchase quality sofas, bedrooms, dining rooms, patio furniture, mattresses, and more. All at the absolute lowest prices possible. The Bacon's Furniture and Design relocation sell-off. Nobody beats Bacon's.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential. There's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline. If you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death, you must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Watch your Suncoast News at 6 on your streaming device for a chance to win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just watch weekdays at 6 for the word of the week. Then enter the word at mysuncoast.com for your shot at a $50 Visa. We'll pick the winner each week. Good luck.
Want to talk about what's coming up at the Players Theater. Jeffrey, tell us about the Crucible.
Oh, wow. We are so happy to be producing this along with Two Chairs Theater Company. It's an Arthur Miller play that you don't see very often. It's a very touching drama. Of course, it's set about the Salem witch trials, but it's actually about a period in our history in the 1950s with McCarthyism. So it's a smart play, it's dramatic, and again, you don't see it very often, and it's running just for a short period of time on our main stage.
All right, well, so excited
really
that's
good.
coming to the Players Center.
Yep.
You will absolutely want to check that out. The Crucible running through September 10th. All right, very exciting.
It is.
We are headed to the kitchen to join Center Ring Bakery. We're going to learn how to make carrot cake that dogs can enjoy. Stay with us.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights. From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Haley Wilkes. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. A strengthening hurricane in the Gulf that is not slowing down. Harvey rapidly intensifies as it heads toward the Lone Star State. What Texans are doing to prepare for landfall. And now taking a quick look at Suncoast Traffic Watch. Traffic is backed up on US 301. This is in the northbound lanes near Fruitville Road in Sarasota. Now let's head over to Steve.
Haley, we've got a line of strong storms with dangerous lightning spreading right across the Suncoast, covering almost the entire viewing area. It's going to be passed in about a half hour, but stay indoors if you can for the next half hour until the most dangerous aspect of this storm passes by. We can also take a look at our futurecast showing that once they go by, we should have only fair to partly cloudy skies overnight. I'll have the latest on potentially deadly Hurricane Harvey and our local weekend outlook coming up in just a few minutes.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wannabe Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabein.com.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203, 800-759-0203.
Coming up Friday at 4 on Suncoast View, we are lucky to live where everyone else vacations. Visit Sarasota stops by to tell us about all the great things to do right here at home as we wrap up summer. We will take a trip back in time and look at vintage cereal boxes. Plus, Cutting Loose teaches us what curling irons work best for what hair. And Cafe Barbosa joins us in the kitchen.
All right, welcome back. Right now we're in the kitchen with Centering Catering, and you guys are going to show us a cake that we can also feed to Wrigley. Is that right?
Yes. While you're making a cake for the people, why not make one for the dog? And so I'm going to show you, and there's 5 ingredients. It's carrot, water, oil, and a can of sardines that you drain. You mix it together, put it in a pan, and bake it.
Wow.
Just don't bake it the same time you're baking this cake.
Unless you like sardines.
Yes, which I don't.
All right, and then there's another cake you're going to make for the humans that are 45
We're going to have
seconds.
our version of carrot cake, and I'm going to show you in 40 seconds, once everything's in place, in 40 seconds you can make this cake.
I love it.
Okay.
So you guys are going to go ahead and start decorating Wrigley's cake because we're going to give it to him at the end.
Nice.
And you're going to go ahead and make the frosting. There's cream cheese, powdered sugar, and vanilla. And you and I are going to make the cake.
Okay.
Put it in. Right.
If I knew you were coming,
I would have baked
I'd have baked the cake.
All right, so your flour goes in.
Yep.
Your spices go in, so
Yes.
that's already ready.
Right.
And then you just...
In here, we put the egg,
Yep.
2 sugars,
Whoa. Sugar. Yes.
and the lid goes on. I've already shredded, just like making coleslaw. My carrots, I'm going to turn it on.
Yep.
I use my phone for a timer. We're going to set our timer for 40 seconds. I'm going to push start.
Yes.
Push start. When you see 15 seconds, start pouring your oil.
Okay. Wow, this is so specific.
It's really not. Don't get nervous. Don't get nervous.
I'm having stage fright right now.
Okay. Ready, start pouring. Perfect. We're almost there. And at 40 seconds, which we'll say it's 40 seconds, stop.
Beautiful.
We're going to pour this into the flour.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That was quick.
Way to make a cake look so simple.
I know.
And you just stir it together. And I'm going to show you to, make 2 9-inch rounds, spray it with baking spray, put your parchment. If you want to take it out, if you don't put parchment, or it'll do a 9 by 13 cake, which I used to make that, and I just printed out a stencil of a dog bone, cut it out, frosted it with the cream cheese frosting that you're making.
Yes.
Now, if you are going to do that, do double the recipe because you need more frosting. And that's it.
So that's a 9 by
That's
13
it.
cake that you just carved out.
Oh.
Okay, what a great
You
idea.
can make it bigger or smaller, depending on what you need.
And how long do you bake it for?
It'll bake about 35 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
And how simple is that for ingredients?
Yes,
so
I
we
love
don't
that.
need to be scared of making a cake.
No, absolutely. The last time I was here, I showed you we did a chocolate cake without even a mixer. It was just by hand. I think that I'd rather see people bake from scratch and do a simple thing like that than do a big fancy thing that takes 20 steps that you're never going to do.
Right. Oh, no, we could absolutely all do this. Well, we also do like to decorate. So I understand that we're going to decorate the doggy cake for Wrigley. So go ahead and tell us what you're doing.
Well, I kind of did most of it already. This is the cream cheese frosting, actually a whipped cream that doesn't have very much sugar, but normally you probably wouldn't give the dog any frosting. So put a little swirls there just to
and then you had
make 'em
suggested
happy.
carrots. That's a great idea.
Some dogs love carrots.
Yeah, that's something that we use for
so-
treats.
And they're pretty.
Okay, great. So how about
and you just put them on?
you help me decorate?
Okay, and then we, of course, picked a bone for the very top. Now, I have absolutely no fear of Wrigley not
And
liking
they will
this.
eat this.
Oh, I know Wrigley will.
And you have to be careful about what you feed dogs, though, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
There's specific.
So I liked all the facts where these were definitely all very, very dog friendly. Okay, and then what about the big cake? Let's take a closer look at some of the decorations you did there. How did you do the paws?
I use fondant.
Okay.
You use that. You can even use candies. There's a lot of candies that you can take at the
was
store that are
thinking about
soft
that.
jelly type, and roll them flat, and use that to decorate too.
And I was also thinking that
M&Ms.
Oreos would work.
That'd be perfect, and M&Ms for
And-
the paw prints.
And I know we're not eating it today, but the display that you have to our
Oh,
left,
that's so
the ballet
awesome.
cake,
Yes.
please tell me
Tell us
about
this. Well, that was for Sarasota Ballet. We like to always promote our arts in this town because we have a great art scene
We
from the
do.
Oslo Players Theater.
Yeah.
And so we were very proud to do Sarasota Ballet's 25th anniversary. And the paintings, Gina's hand painted all of that.
Oh, wow.
Gina,
and
those
that
are
is
the actual
stunning.
ballet
Thank you.
dancers of the different ballets over the years.
And it actually has a
and it has a
chandelier on
working
top.
chandelier light and a stage
Oh,
inside.
the light just went on inside the cake.
Oh my
Look at
goodness.
that. That is absolutely
This is really the
amazing.
kind of work we do. Not so much this. I did this specifically so a home cook could do it.
Well, thank you. I do. I love the simplicity so we can all make it. All right, let's let Wrigley celebrate.
Wrigley, here we come.
We're going to
You
bring
have
Wrigley
something
his
delicious coming
congratulations
your way.
cake.
Look
Hey,
at that.
buddy, special treat today.
Oh,
Can you
look,
sit?
he's excited.
Can you sit? Good boy. All right,
he's
sit.
ready.
We are proud of you.
Oh, he likes it.
Congratulations.
He likes it.
No doubt that Wrigley is ready to celebrate. A big thanks to Center Ring Cake, some very, very talented baking and catering that you can order. And also a big thanks to Southeastern Guide Dogs for allowing us to spend almost a year with a wonderful, wonderful dog who is a future superhero. He's going on to do some very, very great things. But first, let him eat cake.
Oh, he likes that
Lucky
icing.
thing it didn't take
He
long
is a
to
happy
do because
puppy.
he's destroying it.
All right, thanks for celebrating with us. We'll keep you posted on Wrigley. Take some time and enjoy the Suncoast view.